Hello everyone. How are you doing today? I hope all of you are feeling well, and I hope that you are ready for this month's lottery. If you're new to this, these are the names of all of my Patreon supporters and people who decided to enter the lottery via my website. So the names are all piled in here in this mug. And I'm going to randomly pick a name. And that person is going to receive a reading. And this is something that we do each month. So if you're interested in joining the next one, I encourage you to check out the description below. That's where you will find the details. And I think we've got a name. So let's see who the reading is for. And it's for Savannah. Alright, so for some reason my camera stopped recording, but here's the name. Congratulations, Savannah. And let's get into your reading. Alright, so Savannah, I decided to go for a sort of a general reading. So we are going to first off allow the cards to let you know about something that you're leaving behind, since we have just recently entered the new year. This has been a big turning point, at least theoretically for a lot of us. Let's see what it is that you are leaving behind in 2021. And what is something new that the new year is bringing in? It's going to be our next card. I think I've messed up the settings of my camera a little bit because the image seems to be pretty dark. I hope you guys don't mind, or perhaps I was able to correct it in post-production. Anyway, I'm sure you all are familiar with the pains of getting used to a new tool. When you have new equipment, it always takes a while before you can get really comfortable with it. So anyway, Savannah, the next card represents the new thing that is coming in. And next, another card to let you know about the area of focus that you should be considering. So, what is something that you should be focused on moving into the new year? And now, the second month of the year is fast approaching, so let's just have a look at, what you should be focusing on. Alright, so let's have a look at these 3 cards, and then we're going to take it from there. Something that you're leaving behind. The 2 of Wands. The new thing that is coming in. This is the Knight of Cups, if I'm not mistaken. And finally, what you should be focusing on, the 9 of Swords. I'm using the Osho Zen Tarot for this reading, and these cards have their respective names. Now, those names do not necessarily completely cover the meaning or the significance of each card. They are possibilities, trust, and sorrow. But the cards have a lot more to say than that. So just take those names with a grain of salt. And now I'm going to get into the progress that I'm seeing here and the shift in perspective. We have a fire card in the past position for you, water in the present, and the area of focus is air. So that's, roughly speaking, actions, because the fire element is connected with the realm of actions and passion. Water is emotions, and air is connected with the idea of conceptual thinking. So that's a more abstract cognitive process than the raw, sensitive level of feelings. So let's start with what it is that you're leaving behind. The Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card of brute force. That's probably the best way to describe it. It's those moments and those actions and those situations in which you feel inclined to be raw and straightforward. It's somewhat of a simplistic energy. It's number 2, so it's quite low in terms of complexity, but it's pure willpower or a pure essential energy of doing. So you're moving away from this realm of doing, this realm where actions matter only, where it's as though you're facing life situations and you're applying sheer force and willpower to overcome those problems. And this is the attitude that you're leaving behind, the idea that in order to move forward in life, in order to be successful in life, you have to be kind of like this machine, or that you need to be somewhat aggressive in order to make things happen for yourself. So that's the idea behind the Two of Wands, is that if you don't do it, nothing is going to happen. So it's this dependence on what you do. All right, so this is maybe better. Okay, so that was the Two of Wands. That's what you're leaving behind. Everything depends on you and your actions. And that, although is somewhat of a useful energy in many situations, can sometimes become burdensome. So the shift in energy is taking you towards trust. That's the Knight of Cups. So energetically, you're moving into water. Water energy is more about emotions. It's more receptive. It's what you're feeling, not what you're creating with your actions, but what it is that you are integrating, that you're processing as you're moving along in life. And the Knight of Cups specifically is asking you to take a deep leap of faith, to take a deep breath and take a dive into the unknown. to trust that your emotions will lead the way. To a certain extent, the Two of Wands, being in this mode of the Two of Wands, might feel like you always need to be busy, you always need to be productive, and you always need to be the center of your of progress. So your actions are the utmost importance, are of the utmost importance, and your emotions kind of take the back seat. Now you're transitioning into 2022, where emotionally you'll be asked to feel more. You'll be asked to get curious about your own emotional states. Get inquisitive and get courageous. It's not about doing more. It's about feeling more. Going deeper into the life story that is being written for you. And the emphasis is not really on what you can create for yourself. It's about how much of what is being dealt to you, good and bad, how much of that can you truly feel and experience on an emotional level. And so the focus, as advised by the tarot, should be the Nine of Swords. Swords, as I've mentioned, represent the air element. And as such, the air element is connected with your way of thinking. The Nine of Swords, it's called sorrow. And it's about facing those things within yourself that create anxiety. So, in order to be able to do that, actions cannot be utilized as a sort of a way to quell your anxiety, to alleviate the fears. Perhaps that's something that you've been doing. Instead, the cards are asking you to deeply and courageously feel and allow the negative feelings connected with your deepest fears and anxieties to come to the surface. So the focus should be on, and these are perhaps questions that you can ask of yourself. The focus should be on what are some of the things that scared the living hell out of me? What are some of the potential scripts and scenarios in my life that really petrify me to my core? Why am I so scared of those potential sequence of events? What is it within me that is scared? And how can I work with this fear? So that's basically the theme of the year 2022. Now, let me ask the cards again. Let's see what can be done in order to process your fears. So you're very clearly being asked not to escape into an action-filled life. And you're being asked to have a sit down with your emotions, to trust that eventually you're going to be able to heal and face your fears. But how exactly is that going to happen? So here's the guidance card, and this just fell out just now, so this card really wanted to come. And card is abundance. I wonder if you can see the card. Okay, so abundance, the King of Pentacles, or the King of Rainbows in this deck. The King of Pentacles is all about stability. So really, I think what the cards are asking you to do is to realize and assess and evaluate the strength and stability that you have created for yourself throughout the years. You are well within your means in terms of stability, financial and spiritual and body levels, strength. You're well within your stability to be able to do something like this. So the tarot is saying that now is the time to go deep with your traumas and fears and anxieties, because you can afford it. Abundance is, well, on the one hand, it's a card of abundance on a physical level. So it can refer to an affluent or comfortable lifestyle that you have created for yourself. On another level, it is also pointing to the authority and the level of stability that you have reached in your career, perhaps, or your general standing in life. So the message here is that you can afford to allow those uncomfortable, unpleasant feelings to come to the surface. You can afford to feel them. Perhaps in the past, you had to be in survival mode, and you had to take a lot of actions to get to that place where now you have this necessary stability to be able to face all of this. But it's important to recognize that you have arrived. You are here. This was the point of all of this. And now you can start to gently allow yourself to heal by really facing and confronting those fears that hold you back. So I hope that you enjoy this reading, Savannah. Thank you to everyone else who decided to come along with us. And I hope to see you all in another reading. Bye-bye.